doing a little dance to welcome our We Can Do It woman today for our Ripple Maker Spotlight. We have the amazing Debra Morrison in the house.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is very early morning for you there, so I applaud you for being up at this hour to come and join us for a coffee.
Yes, or a tea over there.
Or a cup of tea. Yeah, it can't be a cup of tea. Debra, I love the work you're doing with We Can Do It Women. What you are building is amazing. I'm so honored to be a part of it and to be supporting you as you grow it. I want everyone to know about it. So for those that don't know you and what you do, tell us about why you love doing what you do and what is it that you enjoy most doing in what you get to do?
Well, great question, Sammy. And I came out of the womb as a financial advisor. That's the only way I could have done that for 42 years. It was child labor. I did practice financial planning and asset management for 42 years. And I got a bunch of clients coming through my doors seeking answers to the questions that were very much pressing. And my master's was in retirement planning. So this is kind of crunch time. You can kind of mess around in your 20s and 30s and 40s, but you get into 60 years old and you're wanting to nail this down. And I practiced with high net worth clients and gave them massive money-making ideas and planned for them, not just invest. And that gave them a life of their dreams, because absent the dreams, we're just, shooting off bullets. I mean, I want to know what a person is eager to achieve and what is still on their bucket list. And, we had a lot of this tamped out of us, Sammy, there's in the United States, 2008, 2009, Great Recession. And then of course the pandemic. And so sometimes a lot of the work was teasing out what is it that you're looking to do? And I'd get this deer in the headlights, right? So what I've done now is I sold my practice 2 years ago, and it's freed me up to have the ability to leverage what I've gleaned, both with book knowledge and practical knowledge, to a much larger audience of mature women. And so what I'm doing now is I am a winning financial up-leveling your confidence coach under the umbrella corporation that I have trademarked. Actually, We Can Do It Women. And yes, we can.
Yes, we absolutely can. Guys and girls, give us a yes, yes, yes in the comments if you believe that you can do it. You've got this. You can do it. We can do it. And together, we can make an even bigger difference and a greater ripple of impact. Debra, for those that are coming up through the ranks and as maybe starting their business or in the early days of their business, and they're just thinking like, what can I do to make an even greater ripple of impact? I know you've been doing what you do for a long time, but if we go right back and come all the way through all of the mistakes you've made and all the lessons you've learned, what one ripple of impact tip would you give to our viewers today?
Well, of course, that's $1 million question. And first, I like language, Sammy. So I have just recently devised the notion that I'm going to speak of the past slip-ups as missteps, right? Rather than mistakes, because we, at least in America, have this whole axiom around mistakes that's very paralyzing. It just stops us. You made a mistake, stop there until we figure out the punishment, right? And most likely it's us rendering punishment to our own selves. And that's really a big tripwire for women moving forward in any aspect of their life. And surely financially, we have received horrible socialization around this. Don't worry your little head over that, Betty. Bob will handle that. Well, great if Bob doesn't die prematurely or come home one day and trade you in for 230s. So we need to be in charge, right? And so my tip for today is to manage and control what you can. Now, I've given seminars and speeches all over, and I often say, there's 3 elements to maximizing your wealth and becoming an intentionally wealthy woman. Not it dropped in your lap, you inherited it, you won the lotto. It's about being intentional and building that wealth. And then there will be missteps along the way. But I like missteps because it connotes that we're still moving. And I'm off to say, if Warren Buffett can, admit to $3 billion mistakes with a B, who are we to think we're going to go through this, at least investing journey, without a misstep? I've made them. We've all made them. The key is I've made them and recovered. And so my tip is to forgive yourself any missteps or perceived missteps. I had women come in and say, oh, I made a terrible mistake. And I said, okay, tell me about it. And they'd tell me about it. And I'd repeat their exact words. This is what you did. And what else? No, that's it. If that's it, we're golden. Let's get it going. Now, and I have to wear my shirt sleeve rolled up because I'm all about doing, right? I was raised on a farm. Boom, let's do it. There's no time like the present. So if we're coming up in the ranks of having our own business or being a W-2 employee, it is a necessity to take something off the top and put it away for yourself. Now, I was raised Christian fundamentalist, so that fundamentalism, they have tithes, which is 10%, and offerings on top of that, right? And I don't care if you do that. I know one thing, that mentally we are, as Henry Ford said, if you believe it, or if you believe you can do it, or you don't believe you can do it, you're right. And then Eleanor Roosevelt said, we must do the thing we think we cannot do. So we get that first paycheck, or we get that raise, and we think, oh, well, we got to catch up. We got to maybe pay back some credit card or whatever. No, take some off the top, because even if it's $1, it tells you I'm worth it. And until we put ourselves ahead of the electric company, we're going to be rat wheeling. We're going to be on a rat wheel, and it's not pleasant. So I'm about being pleasant and being happy and being fulfilled. And that intentionality, once we get that automatic savings direct from your bank account into your investments, or 2 or 3 of them, now you don't even look at that for 3 or 4 years. And then you look at it and say, I never felt that. And you feel it the first check that you start a new systematic savings plan. So we can all find money someplace. Yet this forgiveness is nothing to trifle with. It is like grief in some respects. I'm also a certified grief coach. If you have a little semblance of grief still hanging around that you haven't been able to push through, it weighs you down disproportionate to the percent you think you still have. I'm mostly through that. Well, let's get fully through that, because until we can forgive ourselves and bolster our confidence and up-level our financial confidence in particular, we will be stifled. And this is no time for particularly mature women to be stifled. 2 quotes, Gandhi: the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. And Paul Boese: forgiveness does not change the past, but it does enlarge the future. So we can do this, women. Yes, we can. And if your hurdle happens to be finances, I can guide you through those tripwires that would otherwise derail you and bring you back onto give you an on-ramp, just like you maybe intentionally or unintentionally took an off-ramp onto your success path. I'm going to give you that on-ramp, and we're going to win this thing together. Yes, we are. We can do it, women.
Yes, we are. And yes, we can. Debra, that was amazing. I was making lots of notes as you were talking. I love 2 particular things that you said. Manage and control what you can. So often we worry about all the things we can't control, and we're not intentionally conscious about all the things that we can. I also loved when you said intentionality. Take some off the top. And we hear this, we hear people talking about, oh, put some away for yourself and you're important, you should, but we've never been really given that guide of how to. So you gave us that little drop today of how we can do it. And of course, if anybody wants to come through your process and learn more about what you do, Debra, how can we get in contact with you?
Well, my website is a great place. It's womennavigatingfinances.com. And I'm giving our audience today a free gift. It's something called 10 mistakes women over 50 make and how to avoid them, right? Yeah. So you'll just go to womennavigatingfinances.com/10 mistakes. But I'd love to be in contact with you. I have a Facebook group, Women Navigating Finances. Pop over, join in. It's 300 or so strong, and still building. And this is an arena in which women can bond, because there was a study out of the University of Southern California, Drs. Klein and Taylor, that says when women are feeling stress, oxytocin is released when they bond with other women. Physiologically, women deal with stress by bonding with other women, different than men. Physiologically, men isolate with stress. So this is a perfect arena in which we can gather as women, and what's said in there stays in there.
It's a beautiful community, and so amazing what you've created. Guys and girls, I've put the links to both of the addresses that Debra's just shared with you. So the link to go grab that free gift that she's given you today, and to go to her website. And I really strongly suggest that you do, because when we're financially strong, it has the power to kick off all those other things, to be emotionally strong, physically strong, spiritually strong. I genuinely believe that money worries create mental health issues, and it creates relationship problems. Like that, you think of most of the arguments that are had around the world between partners, husbands and wives. I lay money on it that money is going to be the root of part of that conversation at some point. So let's take control of the conversation. Let's control what we can. Let's step up and say, well, we can do it, even if you take a tiny little bit and it starts. Remember, that little seed becomes an acorn, and guess what acorns grow into?
Yeah, and you nailed it, Sammy, in that wealth. I often, hold up dollar bills, and yes, these are real, and there's 10 of them. The issue is we tend to gravitate and then berate ourselves like, oh, well, I don't have any money. I don't have any investing. I'm not rich, right? Good. You're going to become rich if you're in my purview, right? And so this myopia with the greenback at the exclusion of our health, our spirituality, our mental, our physical is really very short-sighted. It's often said people spend the first half of their life earning this. They spend the second half of their life spending this to retain and regain some of the health they lost in that process. So let's not make those mistakes. Let's learn from the mistakes of our sisters. I'm one of them. And let's bring on the wins. Little wins beget bigger wins, and beget bigger wins. We can do this, women. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Well, Debra, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your amazing tip today. How can we support you? What can we be doing or looking out for, listening out for to help you make your ripple of impact even bigger?
Well, thank you. And I'd be delighted to have anybody refer me to a person that's meeting planning for a live stage opportunity. I speak on stage and keynotes and workshops in corporations. Be happy to be a guest on someone's podcast if your audience is mature women. I'm interested in getting the word out as quickly as possible. And so I will provide value to your audience if you're a podcaster, and I will make a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of fun during the whole process, as I think you've probably noticed already.
Yes, for sure. Well, Debra, thank you so much for dropping in with us at One Drop Movement today. Guys and girls, you heard it here. You can connect with Debra on the links that are in the description with this video, and you can also go to the members tab at the top of the One Drop Movement group. You'll find Debra there. You can directly reach her through Facebook Messenger there, and just make sure that you connect, because you never know what can grow when you bring your idea together with Debra's idea. The joint ventures, the partnerships, the collaborations, the connection in a much bigger way. You just never know what is possible. So believe that something is, reach out, connect, and grow it from there. Debra, thank you. Thank you. And guys and girls, have an amazing day. If you haven't got your butt on this seat yet, make sure you click on the Kartra link with this video. Go and book your place, because I want to help you get your message out to our community. And if you know someone that should be in this community, please recommend them. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next spotlight. So take care, and we'll see you there. Mwah. Have an amazing day.